Hi, this is Yvonne Galusha, and I'm making this short little video to give you help getting started, Introduction to Business Computing Essentials. So this is the basic overview of the things I'm going to be talking about. Business Computing Essentials, you will see I commonly abbreviate that as BCE in my communications. It just is a kind of a long class name, makes it much easier. I basically will only be communicating with you via email, unless, of course, you contact me individually. Therefore, you have to be sure you're using the University of Iowa email address. If you don't have that set up already, you need to contact ITS Help Desk and they can help you with that. The goal for this course is to get students up to proficiency with basic software, word processing, spreadsheet, presentation, as well as database. We will be learning Microsoft's software, Office 365, specifically Word, Excel, Access, and then PowerPoint. We will complete a unit on each of these applications. So there are 4 units in the class. We're going to be using McGraw-Hill's online web application called SIMnet. And the basic pedagogy is to first go through an ebook exercise for a chapter, and you have to complete the guided steps to get credit that you completed that. Then each chapter, except for the very first one, which is an intro to Office, has an associated project which you complete with the application. And then at the end of the unit, there'll be a unit exam. And that exam is also simulated on the web application, similar to the ebook. So the class is highly automated. You pace yourself according to the schedule that is available on Icon. Be sure you watch the short videos before you do anything in SIMnet. People, I find, lose points because they already are doing things and they haven't read the syllabus carefully, or they haven't watched these videos to be sure that they understand. So please take time to do that. You'll find those on Icon. Of course, I'm available. Email me as needed, but I will direct you to Icon if the answer can be found there. I want to make a few comments about using a Mac with this course. It pretty much works fine. The only gotcha is going to be with Microsoft Access, because Microsoft never released Access to run on Mac OS. Therefore, you cannot complete those 4 projects using your Mac directly. However, you can use the university's virtual desktop, and I have information on doing that on Icon, but I will warn you that it requires some additional setup. If you're on campus, you could just use some lab computers. But if you're not on campus and you only have access to a Mac, then you're going to have to get help if you need be from an ITS help desk if you're having trouble. But you got to set up a virtual private network first and then be able to use the virtual desktop. I won't say anything more on that now, but just be aware. The other thing to be careful about with a Mac is on the projects, you're going to download start files and instructions before you actually use the application, and you have to be sure you choose the Mac start files. This is a repeat of information that's in the syllabus, but it's just summarizing how the assessment will be for the class. You can see there are 19 ebook assignments and then 18 projects. So most chapters have an ebook as well as a project. But the very first one is just introductory in nature. So that's why there is no project with that, just an ebook overview on Office. At the end of each unit, there's an exam, and those are timed. So you want to be sure you're prepared before you take the exam to do the best possible. Now, there's another thing that I offer, because sometimes students are very good with a certain application. They perhaps have worked with it a lot in an internship or something. Therefore, I offer these Passout exams. Most students do not take those. And I will tell you right now, unless you really know the application well, you're not going to pass out. You may get a B minus, but most people would rather score higher, so they go ahead and do the normal unit work anyway. But anyone can take them, but they're optional. I only allow them to be taken at the very beginning of the term, and it always varies each semester. So do look on Icon for additional information if you're interested in taking them. I offer a Passout exam, one for each unit, and your score basically will be posted on Icon, but you can always go ahead and do the normal unit work. And when I calculate final grade, I will look at the higher between the two of your Passout exam versus the cumulative normal unit work points and use that to calculate final grade. In general, work is going to be due on Sundays. And notice it's 11:59 p.m. U.S. Central Time Zone. Some people take this class from various locations, but that does not change. It's not your time, it's U.S. Central Time Zone. So just be careful about that. You can work ahead. The minute the course opens up, you can complete it as fast as you want, but you cannot work behind. No late work is going to be accepted unless it's according to TIPI's official policy as an excused absence. And then, of course, I also require documentation for such an event. Icon is the grade repository that I use for calculating final grades. SIMnet will automatically transfer scores to Icon, so you may see an in-progress score because you may start working on it and then you haven't completed it yet. But again, at the end of the semester term, Icon is what counts. If you do qualify with some paperwork on disabilities, definitely get the paperwork to me early in the term because I can adjust SIMnet so you get extended time on the exam. Usually that's the adjustment that might be needed for this class. Let me make a few more comments about SIMnet. When you first get on, you're going to see these tiles, and that's under the assignment area. And you'll see that they are color-coded for the type of assignment. So I don't remember the colors exactly, but the projects are one color, the ebooks are another, the lessons are another, and then finally the exams. Along that top navigation, you'll see library link. So once an assignment is past due, the tile disappears. So sometimes students want to go back to prior chapters, especially as they're preparing for the exam. You get to those through that library link at the top. Also, you can look at grades there and you will see a summary there. It should correlate with the same grades on Icon, but that's just another place you can look. Your account, of course, lets you change your password, and you may want to do that. Help's going to take you to the standard SIMnet help, and then, of course, you can log out. So these are the 4 areas that we will be working with. The lessons are not graded. They're optional. So usually you'll be doing sim books first, and then you finish the sim book for a chapter, and you do its associated project. The SimBook tasks are all simulated on the web application server. Notice you need to complete the Guide Me. The other parts will not give you points. You have to do the Guide Me to get points for this class. The projects you do with the application. And then the lessons are what I recommend when you review for the exam, to go through that and then take the exam. That way you'll be well prepared. So here's some additional detail on the Guide Me. I'll let you read through it. I think you will find that this is here on this PowerPoint as well as in the syllabus. Same thing on the projects. I will just emphasize that on the projects you can submit them for grading 3 times, and I will always take the highest of the 3. You may score lower on your 3rd one because you fix something and it causes another problem. Do watch those videos that I created. That will help you in reading the grading report to better fix the problems. Sometimes people don't know how to read those reports very well. Here's where I talk about the training. The top header in those little tiles says lesson, then below it training. So again, they're optional. If you do them, you really don't get any points for it. It's just your choice. Now on the exams, they are like tasks. And there's going to be 50 questions, but I think of them as tasks because you're actually, it will feel like you're using the application. So some tasks require more steps than others. For any one task on the exam, you have 3 tries at it. So if you were to start guessing and clicking around the menus, what happens is if you click in the wrong place, then that is counted as one of your attempts. That's wrong because you're going in the wrong direction. So it's going to not allow you to sit there and guess. As long as you're going in the right direction toward doing the task, it won't count it wrong. Again, it's a good idea to watch the video and you'll get a better sense for that. So I've just got a couple more slides here. When you first get on SIMnet, the default is to see the tiles, but you can change it so you see a calendar view or a list view. That's up to you. You can change that on the left-hand navigation. And then finally, sometimes people like to import things into a calendar where all their assignments are located and due dates. So there's some help. I have a little video on Icon that will assist you with that as well. So that's my introduction. Welcome to BCE, and I hope you found this to be helpful. Thank you.